And yes. Good afternoon. This is Kisa. Kisa's live broadcast. Hello, YouTube. YouTube. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I think they can hear me. I'm just like in the backstage right now. So we gonna.
And we're live on Keisha's Life
Yes, Kisa's
on
live.
YouTube.
Turn it up. Turn it
And
down.
what are we talking about today, Keisha?
Oh, we are talking about. We're still gonna be talking about Will Smith and what's going on in it. Me in there. Let's get you in there too.
There we go.
There we go. Here we are. Oh, I
Hi,
just
Keisha. Keisha's Life in the house on YouTube.
this is my I would say my 5th day doing live. And this is my 2nd day actually doing live. And I have a co-host today, my cousin.
Hi, y'all.
Hello, this is Janine.
Welcome to your Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday. Ugh.
So, what's the topic today, Keisha?
Okay. Today's topic we are going to talk about the Will Smith, and we'll talk about the Braxtons, and we're going to talk about Wendy Williams. Get it out
Oh,
there.
that's an interesting topic.
Oh yeah. So we're just gonna have a chat, and see where it brings us.
Right.
So right now, I'll go ahead and show a picture of the Smiths. They're a lovely couple, aren't they?
Yes, they
Man,
were.
they were, huh? I think Jada still looks fierce with her bald head, but, oh, Will, I feel so sad. I feel so bad for Will, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
This
And
is sad.
honestly, I think that um, I feel like Will was set up for failure,
Mhm, mhm,
and all she could do was laugh about it, knowing that on the back end
mhm.
he was this was going to follow him for the rest of his career.
I know. It's devastating.
That's the sad part. You've been married to this man for years,
Yeah,
and you put him in a quite a predicament with
yeah,
you know um, put him in a predicament with the blacklisting, because that they have that Me Too movement, and
mhm. Mhm.
canceling out
Cancel culture.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah, canceling people and all this stuff. So
He is
why,
definitely
as
calling for
you being
grace.
yeah, why is you being the mother, at the very least the mother of his children,
Mhm,
why would you take that initiative to not stop him from getting up
mhm.
from his seat, knowing if he had a problem, A, B, if he, had any anger issues,
Mhm.
and C, you know, um, again, as being the father of your children, he's going, and you guys are obviously still together. If he's saying my wife,
Right,
you
right.
know, why would you
Why put
do
him in
that
that
to him? Why would you put him in that position?
child? Maybe
And
she
that's
wants
the bigger question. I think that
ego,
everybody wants to get to the
ego.
bottom of.
Did you
You know,
see
he
her? Mhm,
I think he knows now,
mhm.
because now he sees the after effects of his actions. But
Right.
if I was in his shoes and that was my wife, I would be really livid with her for
Mhm.
the fact that you knew that I was thinking for the moment, and you didn't even try, to stop me in any fashion.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's her job,
I know. I know, and
to
you
have
know when
her
your man
man's
about to
back.
set it off. You know when your man's about to set it off, and you gotta, like,
Right.
hold him back. You got, "Oh, baby, don't do it. Oh, don't do it," because you know
She didn't
if
do any of that. She just
what
sat
it
there and
is.
laughed.
I know. One would say that
Like,
she didn't know he would do that, but damn, did you
I
not
mean,
know? You live with
even
this
if you
person.
didn't know that he would do that, you saw
Mhm.
what was about to take place, and you didn't try to make any effort to stop him. She
Yes, ma'am.
just sat there and watched him get up,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then, sat there and laughed the whole
Mhm.
time, and she thought it was funny, but I bet it's not funny now.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's not funny. It's really, really saddening. I don't think anybody is having a field day with this one. This one's a
Yeah,
bit
that's
this one's hard.
shady. I
Will
mean,
Smith, he's
I
like
feel
the
like he was a victim, honestly. I feel like he was victimized, and he
mhm,
was, you know, involuntary, not knowing at
mhm,
the time because he was in the moment.
mhm,
And to, put him in a situation like that was horrible on her part, because she saw what was about to happen, and she lives with him. She
mhm,
knows him like the back of her hand.
mhm,
So if that's the case, and that's supposed to be your man, you're supposed to have his back like he has yours.
mhm.
So why would you allow him to get up if you know his background and his mental health? Because he was just trying to
Think
take up for her,
do you
but
think
she didn't take up for him at all.
do you think secretly she's a little jealous of his, notoriety and his accolades and all the things? You know, everybody worships him and everything, and he's like the good actor, and he makes the blockbuster movies,
I
and
mean, anybody with narcissism
in the
likes
same field
negative
that
attention,
yeah.
and she's not bringing in the bucks like he is. So of course there's going to be some tension
Mhm,
and jealousy.
mhm. Do you feel like she had, like, a moment where she's like, "You didn't stick up for me," and so he was like, "This is my moment to stick up for my wife." They say that he didn't stick up for his mother, in a book that he read when his father was just abused his mother, and he just didn't do anything, so it's almost like a redemption for him to be able to have this moment where he can, go on stage and stick up for his wife, because he didn't do it for his mother when he was a kid. That's what he's saying.
I mean, possibility, he could be trying to make up for that,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know um and at the same time, you know I just feel that the whole thing was foul on her part, because
Mhm.
she knows him, she knows his mental health state,
Mhm.
and she knows what he was about to do. So why didn't you take any initiative to stop it? Because she knew him better than anybody in that room.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
know his personality, you know if he's a hothead or not.
Yep.
And most of us, that
He's
if
a
we have a man with an attitude or a hot head,
yeah, or ego.
we're going to do everything we can to deflect that
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah,
try to square it up and calm him down. We're not going to do the opposite. And I
right.
feel like she did the opposite.
She
And
did.
it could have been for, she wanted, publicity and attention.
Did you see when, Willow not Willow, but Jaden got on the gram or something and said, "This is how we do it."
See, that's ratchet. You live in Calabasas. You shouldn't be acting like that in Calabasas.
Oh, well, Will and Jada said, because he from Philly and she from Baltimore, and so
Yeah, but they've been in Calabasas. Their kids
I
were raised there.
know.
So
No, Will and
I'm
Jada been in
sorry, but that don't
California.
apply no more.
Exactly. This is how we do it. You're right. I think they've been in there since the 90s. Will and Jada probably been there.
Exactly. They've been in the same house for, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
long
Back
time,
home
for
down like that,
for
yeah.
at least 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
What are they, like,
no,
the hood rats of Calabasas because they're from Philly and Baltimore?
Child, do you think he was still had he just played that character of Serena Williams and
Oh yeah,
mhm.
I saw the previews last night.
Did you ever
Of,
see is it King George? King
uh
George?
King Richard.
King Richard? Did you ever see King Richard's uh, uh like a documentary about him? I did back in maybe the early
I
2000s.
didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
he was the truth, man. He was the truth. He kinda yeah, he wanted, he would cuss you out type, or,
Right.
he was real about his daughters.
He said I saw a snippet, and he said,
Mm,
he
mhm,
told his wife at the time,
mhm,
she said, we got a champion on our hands, meaning
mhm,
Serena.
mhm,
And he's like, no, I got two.
mm. Okay.
And he said he got a doctor and a lawyer too with
Mhm,
his other ones.
mhm.
I guess they have four kids.
Oh, oh, no, no, no. The Serena and Venus mom, it's 2 of them, and then, the father had an outside marriage too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of the full background.
Oh, yeah. I just learned that. And all those years, I thought all those kids were all, but no, that was his second marriage where he had Serena and them.
Okay.
So,
But
yeah, I guess he had that character of, King George. Is it King? I wanna call it King
King
Richard?
Richard, yeah,
I wanna say
that
King
Richard Williams is his name.
Richard Williams. Richards. And, he said that he still wanted to be a protector, so he kind of blamed it on his, what they call it, actors that can't get out of their a method actor when they go into the character, they become the character for a while. It's
Oh
hard
yeah,
to get that off of you. So,
right.
um, yeah, he said something like, like he still life imitates art. So I guess he's trying to say that he was doing the art trying to be King Richards, and he ended up doing it a little too far where he got up and smacked somebody at the Oscar.
Basically, right,
So,
right.
but yeah, Jada, the whole thing with Jada is, man, the whole God, the son's best friend, and Jada got with the son, and Will Smith is embarrassed with that. It's just a
And
mess.
then she was seeing, uh what's his name? August.
Yeah, that's the son. The son and August were friends.
Oh,
He
I
brought
didn't know that either.
Yeah, he brought
And
that's how
she
he got
and
to
she
know him.
got with
The
her
son's
son's friend.
Yes.
I wonder if that was out of spite because, you're
Hell of
you're
a
50 years old. What are you doing with someone who is your son's friend? Like, that's like incest.
That's what I was saying the other day. Yeah,
So
that's
it was all for attention. And
they
she's
weren't,
so
but
smooth.
they weren't at that time, they were supposedly not together. They were
It
almost
doesn't matter. There's
I
still,
know. I already know that,
a
yeah.
moral obligation.
Yeah,
You got all these fish in the sea, and you gonna go after your son's best friend, and
right.
he's young, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
know
August is
you right. You know more
and
than he
and
does.
mentally
So
ill, and mentally ill. Don't forget that part.
right.
Some was
And I guess he quit
dirty.
the music industry because he had some disease or something.
Oh, I tried to he was on the internet. He's really skinny. He was on the internet mumbling. I can't never make out what that kid is saying. He's so hard. I don't know what he was saying. I said, "Let me get off. I don't understand what he's talking about." But yeah, he
But I'm starting to now see the personality,
yeah,
and it's quite ratchet,
yeah, it
you
is.
know.
It's ratchet.
I mean,
Great.
going after I just feel like making bad decisions and having the attitude, well, I got money, so I can do whatever I want to and say whatever I want.
And let everybody know. That's the thing. Do you think they keep
Right.
quiet about their lives?
And that red table talk
Mhm.
with her mom,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
And her daughter,
feel like,
her daughter.
right. I feel like, you know, like they brought some of that sassy thought type
Mhm.
of stuff,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
Facebook
Mhm.
and airing out your dirty laundry, because some of the stuff they talk about,
Mhm.
that's behind closed doors. And I'm sure, like when she was talking to Will, I
Mhm.
watched one episode where she was talking to him about their bedroom
Mhm.
stuff, and and about him cheating on her or something to that nature.
Mhm.
And just that whole thing with their their intimate um stuff that they do,
Mhm.
that that should stay that way. That's not something that you air
No.
on
Hell no.
Facebook, Instagram, the news, TV. It doesn't matter. The paper, like
Mhm.
the internet, like it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like she's just like an open book, and she just willing to air out anything for for likes and for ratings.
Her
And I
show. Yeah.
right, and I feel like a lot of the topics and stuff that they discuss are merely for ratings and
Right.
nothing more. But he has a career now that he has to try to save,
Mm. That could
because of her.
it's over. You
So
know,
whatever it is, it was definitely done on purpose, and it looks like it was some get back, because she
interesting.
sat there calm, collected, and laughed the whole time like it was funny. And it's not funny when you purposely, hit somebody. It's not funny.
But to play devil's advocate, the whole audience laughed too. They probably thought it was part of some kind of bit.
Right. I think I
They were
think at
shocked.
first they thought that it was part of it, but then when he was cussing like that,
Mhm.
you could clearly see the second that he said, you know, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Mhm.
It kind of, you could see the tension, because Chris Rock had kind of paused, and he was trying to figure out something else to say and still make a funny comment,
Mhm.
that was more inside the box,
Right.
because he didn't want him to go up there, because the second time he wasn't going to slap him. He was going to go up there and they were going to fight.
No, he said effing word. Did see that part there, and the ferociousness of him, Will Smith. Ooh, he was so mad, and we were all shocked. I don't even
I
think
can't
in
hear you.
character he ever was that crazy in character. Like, have you ever in any of his shows where he was cussing like that? In any of his movies or anything? I was just like, whoa. And then Lupita was sitting there. she looked like she was almost with Will Smith. She was, like, right next to Will. Jada was over there on the other side, and she was like and her face and that's how I knew it was real too, because of how her expression was. And he's like, "Keep my wife out of your effing mouth." And I was like it's almost like he was saying that about the world, not just kid Chris Rock.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Uh-oh, let's see. That's weird. Uh-oh, you just went out. That's why she couldn't hear me. Come back in, cuzzo. Well, you know what? Oh, there she is.
Here I am.
Okay, can you hear
Sorry.
me
I don't,
now?
yeah, technical difficulties.
Oh, no, I get it.
Apologize. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think
um, so,
that can you repeat that last part?
um, about, see, now I can't even remember. I was
Because
saying that
I couldn't hear you.
oh, heck, I forgot. Something about, Chris Rock, um, the audience and how they,
Oh
uh,
yeah, the audience.
mhm,
I
and that
think that, like I said, I think that at
they
first
said it was a
they
fit.
thought it was part of it because they kind of looked confused. But
Right.
then, but then I think that after he said, because he said to him twice. The first time he said, "If you see from that other angle," he said, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth, or
Mhm.
don't talk about my wife," or something of that nature. But
Right.
then Chris said something back that was still irritating to him. Like
Mm.
he wasn't taking him serious even after he just got slapped.
Right.
He at that point he made some smart remark, and Will, the second time he's like, "Hey, keep my effing wife's name out your mouth," and he swore at him a
Mm.
couple times. And then after the second time, he kind of like pushed the envelope a little bit,
Mhm.
and he, like, his gestures were, "I'm serious," because the
Yeah.
first time I don't think he took him serious, but the second time he
Uh,
he took him serious because he started raising his voice more.
mhm.
And and then after he told him to keep my wife's effing name out your mouth,
Mhm.
then Chris Rock paused and the room got totally quiet.
Right. Okay,
and
so
and then they're like, "Oh, this isn't part of the skit, this is real."
so how do you feel about the Oscars? Do you know about how they didn't ask Will to leave and now they're saying that they did ask him to leave and then they turned around and said, "No, no, we suggested,"
Well,
and the plot just keeps growing.
right. Well, I think that it was all based on what Chris, if he felt comfortable enough for him to continue to be there.
Right.
And he
It was
and
on
he
Chris.
was like, right, and he's like, "I'm from New York," type of thing, like,
Yeah.
you can't just bully
But
me and expect
how
me to
chicken
run, type of thing.
right. How chicken ship is the, Academy Awards to put it on Chris?
Because that's what they do.
Put it on Chris. Come on now.
Right, like, you
It's
make the
already a
decision.
humiliation that you got slapped. Now you're gonna look
Right.
like a snitch?
And you gotta process that, and
Yeah.
now they're putting that extra pressure on him.
Mhm.
He's the front man.
Mhm.
He's, the narrative, the front man. He just got smacked, and
Right.
now you're also making him make a decision, and he's trying to process this at the same time while you're putting that pressure on him to, basically say, "Hey, you know, um, do you want the guy gone or not?"
Right.
Like, that's not his job. His job was to go up there and crack funnies and get people into, the awards, and
Mm.
then do his narrative stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, they shouldn't have put all that pressure on him for him to make that decision. That's their job.
Right.
That's what they're there for. Their
Right.
job is to monitor and make sure that the night functions the way that it was planned, and all the lineups are there. Everybody is seated,
Mhm.
fed,
Mhm.
got their little to go bag.
They feed
And
him and stuff? They give him dinner?
oh
It's like a
yeah,
gala?
they get dinner.
Oh, I didn't know.
They have like tables where they
Oh,
put
okay.
pre-gift bags together.
Swag bag, yes, swag.
Yeah, so that's their job. So to put that extra pressure, you
Mhm.
know, on
What do you wanna
the
do?
narrator,
Right. Which makes it
that's not
harder.
fair.
Chris was friends with them, so that even harder, At the time, he like, "Wait a minute, like, what am I doing? Everybody's gonna hate
Right.
me if I, say something." Yeah, the whole thing is just crazy,
I
crazy.
mean, she seemed to not have a problem,
Mhm.
with it, because she was laughing the whole time. But he's the one that seemed to have an issue with it, not her. But
Mhm.
I feel like that was a facade of how she, how she came about it, and how she walked herself through it. I feel like, you're acting like a spoiled little brat, and you just wanted your way, and you were jealous because your man makes more money than you, and you needed, to be in the spotlight. So, you're going to let him reap the reward, which is a negative reward.
Mhm.
And watch him fall, and you're just going to sit there and laugh. That's not funny. So, we might see in the headlines, very, very, very soon now,
Mhm.
about how they're really going to get a divorce,
Mm.
because he has to process all this. And I know he went home,
Mhm.
and, because he was worked up, and I know he went home, and I'm sure it was a topic of discussion. And,
Mhm.
any normal man would have been like, what the hell? What are you trying to do to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe they had a tiff or a
Yeah.
fight
Mm.
before they got there,
Mm.
and she was on that, oh, I'm going to set him up.
Mm.
But
Mm.
either way, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a devil advocacy, but at the same time, I
Mhm.
feel like the ball really is in her court, because she could have made or break that situation really easy. All
Mhm.
she had to do is say, no, honey, sit down, calm down. It's going to be
Mhm.
okay. Let him finish. It's
Mhm.
not really about Mimi. It's for ratings. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have walked him through that, but she made absolutely zero effort.
So
So it makes it
you ain't got
right.
no
It
feelings for Jada.
just selfish and don't care. And it looked like some get back, it really did. So that's my input on that situation.
Go ahead and like and share and leave a comment. I just want to I don't know, cousin. I mean, you already kind of made up your mind. You ain't there. I don't know. You or
I mean,
I don't
how do
know.
you
Some
feel?
people um mm,
How do you think the public feels
when I
too?
when it first happened, I was pissed. I was pissed off. I was mad at Will. I couldn't believe he did that. I said, "Damn, why he do that stuff? Like, really?"
Right.
And I
And
looked at kept
initially,
looking at
right?
I was mad at Will for a long time. And then I heard about the Chris Rock stuff and how some of the things he said. And I remembered what he said to Jada. But then I realized him and Jada and them guys are friends. And you know how comedy people, they be using these family friends and stuff. It's
Right,
comedy
right.
stuff.
It's business. It's not
He probably
personal.
yeah, he probably thought he could get away with teasing Jada because Jada is like his sister or something, you know? They know each other. They really know each other.
Right,
Do you
right,
remember that
right.
show, Madagascar? Madagascar? That's like the last animated show I ever looked at, but I like that movie. And Jada and Chris Rock was in that. They both were in that movie.
What is it?
Madagascar.
Madagascar or something?
Yeah, Madagascar. They were both in that, you know?
Yeah.
So, hmm, I don't know how to feel. But, I mean, I adored, Jada, back in her I always wish she did more stuff, but she was mom, took care of her family and everything.
Right.
I adore them as a couple. I think they're the cutest couple, you know? But the whole thing with the red table talk and watching I if I just how private they used to be, you know? And
Right.
then for to see them fall like that with the red table talk, it was disgusting to watch that. He was all in tears, and I said, "Will, get a backbone." I was so annoyed. Oh, he was,
I mean, when it came to her, he was on some okay, you know,
yeah, he loves Jada.
Scooby
I think
Doo.
Jada could have left a long time, but he loves Jada. He wants Jada. Now they have done their things, you know. Let's look at a video right quick. Let's go ahead and take a peek at this one.
Hollywood is just spineless.
And it was sickening. It was.
I had to leave my chair. I'll be honest with you. It cut me really deep.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless.
And it was sickening. It was absolutely. I physically felt ill, and I'm.
Will Smith can't take a joke. Chris Rock can take a punch.
Black man, Will
Wow.
Packer did a phenomenal job producing the Oscars, and you do this to stain yourself, to stain the Academy Awards?
Biggest actors of all time reveal
See
how
how they're
their
turning
view on
against
Will
them?
Smith changed. The biggest actors of all time have revealed how
Man,
their
Hollywood
view
is
of Will
fierce.
Smith has changed
Cold.
following the infamous slap at the Oscars 2022. After Oscars presenter Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaven head, Smith, her husband, leaped to the stage
She didn't even
and
seem to
gave
be
the
that
comedian
mad
a
at that.
slap that was heard around the world. But the tactless joke, Smith's violent reaction, and the fact that the award show continued without consequence also sparked furious debate about American culture's apparent comfort with violence. There were many top artists who sided with Chris, while others tried to justify Will's actions. But which actors have publicly voiced their opinion on the matter, and whose sides have they taken? Keep on watching to find out. Even people who didn't watch the Oscars on Sunday night likely heard about the slap, and many celebrities, regardless of whether they saw it in person, have shared their reactions. Lupita Nyong'o, who was seated near Smith, was on camera when the actor returned to his seat and warned Rock to keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth.
Don't it seem like
Her
she's sitting next
reaction,
to
like
him?
many people's, was a combination of shock and disbelief. Entrepreneur Diddy attempted to play peacemaker after the incident when presenting
Yeah,
the
he
Godfather
tried.
tribute on stage. Okay, Will and Chris, we're gonna solve this like family at the gold party, okay? The rapper said. But right now we are moving on with love. Everybody make some noise.
Okay, Will and Chris, we're gonna solve that like family at the gold party. Okay?
Nicole Kidman and Serena Williams' shocked expressions were also caught on camera. Smith won the award for his portrayal of Williams' father, Richard Williams, who coached the tennis champion and her sister Venus. The superstar posted a video of her shocked expression on her Instagram story. In another story, she said she needed to sit and put her drink down,
Cute Bob.
making a bewildered face.
I just sat down because I was like, I got to put that drink down.
When one of the hosts of the show, Amy Schumer, returned to the stage after the incident, she made a quick joke. I've been getting out of that Spider-Man costume. Did I miss anything? There's like a different vibe in here.
I've been getting out of that Spider-Man costume. Did I miss anything?
Yeah. Deep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, but Diddy did it right though.
Yeah, he did.
You know, like he ran to
Yeah,
the
Diddy-
rescue.
when I first saw, I was like, "Oh, did he?" Like, it's a,
Like he
he
just
like
got up
like
out of his
oh,
seat and ran to the
no, 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 he would happen to be there, and he was the presented Godfather or the I don't know. He was there to
Okay.
present.
Okay.
And he came out and they was like, "Did he go out there and do something?" So he went out there and said something, and it did lighten the mood. It really did. Then I guess he said that they made up, and everybody's like, "Did he? Shut up! They did not." They apologized through both of them apologized in their way through PR, you know.
Right. But
Yeah,
not
yeah. But for uh face to face, brother to brother, friend to friend, they have not done that yet.
right.
And
And
it would
that's
be
gonna be
Will to
extremely
make the talk.
difficult.
Yeah, Will. But Will is stuck. It doesn't. I don't know what's going on in Will's head. Why is it taking so long to pick up the phone, bro? I think at this point he's like, "Oh, I can't do it now." But
He's probably mad at her.
he
Like
still could
why did
get in contact with
why didn't you
Chris.
right, but you know how guys work, and his pride probably got him
Oh,
now because he's
he-
probably like, how could you put
yeah,
me in a situation like that? And now I gotta call this man and apologize to him for you. And I just got blacklisted on some projects,
yeah,
because some studios he had work, and some studios had put his projects on pause after that.
yeah.
So at any time they just need the green light and they'll let him go.
Cousin. I
Does Nobody has that much power, in Hollywood to where they can't be let go. It doesn't matter who you are.
I know that's right.
They'll let anybody go. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much status that you have. And he has a lot of money and a lot of status. And he's been working, you
Mm-hmm.
know, all
Since
his adult life
mm-hmm.
to, before he even knew her. He had been working all his adult life, to create a nice career. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do horror flicks. Um,
You
he's
know.
very particular about the project that he releases,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them, I would say 90% of them are family rated,
Mm-hmm.
are family rated movies,
Mm-hmm.
and TV or whatnot. So I mean, if he's trying to hold this persona of, you know um just being a wholesome Bill Cosby back in the day show type of dad,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that, the stuff that he puts out there is, of quality and for everybody. And he's been doing this for a long time, working up to where he's at. And
Mm-hmm.
then now in less than 5 minutes now, you know he's got to wonder if he's going to have a career tomorrow. I mean, we all know he has enough money to live off of for the next 3 generations, but still,
Right. Hey,
like,
let me show you another video of another person's point of view of it. Okay.
yeah.
Port Will slapping him. First of all, I met Chris Rock. He had a show in Los Angeles. I was in downtown LA, right around the corner from the theater where he had his show, and I saw him walking out of Whole Foods. I was like, oh my gosh, Chris Rock, hi. And he just gave me a stank look. And I'm like, you got a show tonight. I could have flown in here, drive from far away just to see this show, and you don't want to say hi to me? So I already don't like him. But let's talk about the G.I. Jane joke. First of all, as a woman actually in the military, there is actually a huge issue with alopecia in the military. Black women suffer from it at a great deal, but even white women and other non-black women suffer from alopecia due to us having to pull our hair in a ponytail. If I move this hair around, you will see that this is a large bald spot. And this is from me attempting to maintain my hair standards in the Army. So when you talk about alopecia and the Army, trust me, there are a lot of women who feel for Jada, but it's just ironic that he used G.I. Jane and her being bald and her having alopecia, because that is all super connected. But then it's like, I have had this experience where a black man in a majority white space at work called himself making a joke about my hair so that he could get our white coworkers to laugh at me. And it was extremely triggering. It's so hard for black women in the United States. It's very difficult for black women in the Army. I am a leader. I was the highest ranking person in my section. And this black man who calls himself a comedian thought it would be really funny to talk about my hair and if I have to take it off and put it back on in the morning. And I'm just tired of black men getting kudos and laughs at the expense of black women, and especially when it comes to black women and their hair. When you know that we face discrimination in the workplace with our hair, we have alopecia and all the other issues that go along with our hair fitting in, moving up, and just making a freaking living and being at peace. I am totally for Will Smith being the martyr and making a statement that black men are no longer allowed to make jokes about black women in majority white spaces. Look at how hard it is for a black woman to make it to that room. And you decide to point out one of the very few black women and make a joke about it when she has been expressive about her vulnerability with her hair. I feel like if a white woman was facing the same issue, people would be really outraged by the comment. But because it's black women, people don't care.
Okay, that was deep. How you feel about that?
Yeah.
Were you in the bathroom? You- Oh, you're so funny.
Okay, so with that comment made,
Mhm.
I mean, she got a valid point, and
Wait. Just
I
one
just
question.
want people to.
One question. Have you ever been in a predicament where someone make it didn't have to talk about your hair, but some kind of joke and made you feel like they were
I
making you
mean, of course, we're related. I'm biracial, so yeah, of course. When I was a kid, I got that all the time. People cracking jokes and stuff. It's not funny,
No, it's
you
not.
know. But I mean, they're on a whole different tier,
Yeah.
so they have to learn how to not take everything so personal,
Mhm.
because that really was about ratings. And the fact that she brought up the fact that, Chris Rock, and this is the valid point,
Mhm.
the fact that he might have been trying to cater to a certain sector
Mhm.
of people,
Speak on it.
for ratings. I mean, that's why they hired him,
Mhm.
to be the narrator in the first place.
Mhm. Mhm.
They hired him to appeal to a certain crowd, and as long as his
Those jokes
jokes
are so
were
boring. They need
cleaned
somebody
up,
to,
right, you
make it
know,
fun, make it funny.
right. As long as they were appealing,
Mhm.
and they weren't, because there's that fine line of discriminatory. So as long as it was appealing to the audience,
Mhm.
they're going to be okay with it. But
I'm just messing around with the thing. This is the first time I've ever been able to play with this.
but his jokes, the jokes that he chose were tasteless.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, he's been a comedian for years now, so he should know better.
Yeah.
And that was his bad on not I'm not saying that what Will did was
Mhm.
okay, because it wasn't.
Right.
But at the same I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
But at the same time, you know,
Chris
I
Rock.
mean, Chris has to hold some responsibility for his actions, because his actions is what got him slapped.
Okay, there's more to the content. Uh, Chris Rock a couple years ago, they didn't have any blacks that were winning the Oscars or even participating in it, like nominated. And so
Right.
Jada and Will were going to boycott it.
What
And
about Denzel?
no, Denzel wasn't on the list either. It was this one year. I didn't even pay no attention to the Oscars. This was one year when there was just no blacks being nominated. It was just some kind of freaking. I don't know if they were working. I don't know what their problem was, but there was just no blacks being nominated. It just wasn't that way. And they were
Right.
like, "There's really no blacks on the list, like nothing." And there were some movies that there were some real good, movies that were black
That
people in,
were out. Right.
and they didn't have any. So that's why they went. If you noticed it, I didn't even watch it this year, but if you notice this year, it was all black. Like they had the black producers doing it. They had black. Everything was all black this year because it was like we're gonna come out of it. After 2021, that's the kick they're on. Everything's all black. So they were okay. So a couple years ago, they said they were going to boycott, and they were asking their brother Chris Rock to participate. But Chris was like, "No, I'm gonna get my bag. That's on you guys." And so
Right.
the big night when nobody got nominated for the blacks, but Chris Rock had his job. Um, Chris Rock said in front of all the I'm gonna have to get that. It's out there, but he said in front of everybody um that Will and Jada are boycotting the Oscars, and that it don't matter anyway because Jada wasn't invited anyway. It was that year that Jada and Will thought they were supposed to be at least nominated for that movie when the movie with, and I didn't see this one either. Will had he was like a doctor, and I think it was called Concussion. That might have been the name of the movie, Concussion. And they
Uh
yeah,
yeah, I remember.
and they
Yeah.
and they thought he should have won an award for that. And Jada's like, "Wait a minute, my husband didn't even get nominated for this?" And so, yeah, and so he made a joke. The joke went like this. Jada, um, that's like me being invited to Rihanna's underwear. I simply wasn't invited, or something of that sort. Talking about Jada. Jada's talking about the Oscars, but she wasn't gonna be an Oscar nomination anyway. So yeah, I got the joke all backwards, but it had to do with Jada is just close to Chris Rock getting close to Rihanna's underwear is about as close as Jada being close to going to the Oscars.
Wow, that's tasteless
And he
too.
said and he said that in front of that white audience.
Wow.
So
That's
I Will Smith,
inappropriate.
yeah, I
And now
Jada
you're
said
bringing someone else into it too, because Rihanna
right, right,
didn't
right.
deserve to be
No,
entered into that joke.
yeah, but that's what he said. He said Jada being introduced to the Oscars is like me being introduced to Rihanna's underwear. This shit just ain't gonna happen.
Wow, that's tasteless.
That's
I mean,
cold.
your average person can come up with a better joke than that.
That's what he said, and everybody laughed, of course, because like,
That's
oh,
definitely not a $6 million joke.
they had that whole crowd of white folks laughing on the Oscars. They was laughing. They thought this shit was funny.
They didn't get it, that's
Well,
why.
Chris has a way better way of saying it than me just coming up with it. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, but it was something of that sort. So that was embarrassing. So I guess it was like, okay, Chris, when we see you, you say anything, it's gonna be on. And he said something, and it was out
So
of there.
he thought he would go to that dry sense of humor bit again.
Well, he said a couple things to other people, and then he got to Will Jada. But see, earlier that day, another person,
Regina Hall
is it Regina Hall? Black girl. She was
or
in.
Regina King.
No, it's not King. It's Hall.
Okay, so Regina Hall.
Regina Hall. Um, they were talking about grabbing some what do you call it? Hollywood when the guys are single, I don't know what they call that. Single Hollywood dudes, I guess. And she was grabbing them and she put them on the stage and eligible Baxter. Why can I talk? Eligible
Bachelors.
bachelors. Um, and she said, "You guys get on the stage." And she said, "Oh, and Will, according to Jada, you need to come up here too." And I didn't even
Oh
know about
wow.
that joke. I didn't even know, and that happened that night. And they laughed that part off. So they're doing a whole lot of laughing, he. And then when it got to the Chris Rock part, I guess he said, "Enough is enough. Fuck this shit. This got it. We got."
Right, because every time he goes there, it's a Will and Jada joke.
Yeah, there was a couple days that night.
So
There was a couple days.
maybe that was some of the frustration too, because he's like, every time I come here, you guys are capping on me.
Yeah, capping on him,
So
and the
like
internet
he
is
felt singled out.
yeah. I mean, the internet has been going brutal on them, and I think Chris Rock was just that tip of the iceberg.
Right,
That tip.
right.
You know, it was just that tip because like uh. So we said we was going to talk a little bit. We kind of running behind, but we said we was going to talk a little bit about the Wendy Williams. I was going to put some footage up, but I didn't get a chance to do it. I had to do a couple things to get this thing to go. I wonder if I can try to. I'll do that tomorrow, but I'll show some footage of it. But basically, what's your take on Wendy Williams trying
I
to
mean,
her
I feel like basically like I feel like the again Hollywood.
to?
Let's just call it East Coast Hollywood.
Hmm.
I feel like Hollywood like made her story to be out like, oh, look at her, she's crazy. Look at her. She
Hmm.
crazy. And when you get marked as being a crazy person, like
Hmm. Yeah. Why you
hashtag
come out of that, huh?
crazy Wendy, like the world isn't going to take you serious anymore, and they're basically going to just suck you up and spit you out type of thing, and then they're done with you, and then get rid of you. And because you've been marked as being like crazy, like in a psych ward
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
and because now she's been
Well, they
marked as being crazy, like
yeah. Dementia.
now
Dementia is the word.
she thought she was going back to work and thought her show was going to be
You know
revamped.
it's dementia, so that's like the mind kinda like going away almost like a child,
Well, yeah, I mean Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
dementia is a sister to it,
That's what they say.
and
Do you think she has dementia?
I don't.
Mm.
I honestly don't. I think that the
She's got a
people
broken
I think she just frustrated like anybody else would be going to the bank and can't get their money.
But do you think that they're doing their job by holding her money because
Absolutely not. That's not they're not there to play
I know in
judge
that
and jury, and that's what they did.
I
And
think
they
they're
were
trying
going by what somebody told them on
I think
top of that.
I think they're trying to have somebody be rewarded, like somebody take care of her business. What do they call it, like
Well,
a
that's an executor,
yeah.
but that's what she was doing, you know. And then the lady took advantage of her and was basically, you know, downsizing her like she's a child. And that's her money. She's worked hard for that money for years. And, you know, like you get into a tiff with somebody and they have access to your funds, the first
Mhm,
thing they're going to do is try to mess up your money to
mhm,
ruin your life. And
mhm.
we know how, you know, all, you know, with the, not all these ladies out here, and let me say that for the record, but you know how women are,
Mhm, mhm.
you know. And I feel like the lady was taking advantage of her, and she, you know, got her to trust her, and then
Was
that
it a
all went
lady
out the
or was
window.
it her
And
man?
she did it behind her back.
She said something about somebody named Bernie.
Her,
Bernie.
the financy person that
Oh,
was taking care of her money is the one that did it.
oh, huh.
And I just feel like, you know, that was definitely all foul play, because
It's easy to take from her because she doesn't have she doesn't have a husband or significant other, or her son is
well,
still
I'm
pretty
sure that
young.
that probably played a part, because nobody is looking into her finances. But I
Mhm.
feel like, okay, you know, the lady from the movie Selena, from
Yeah.
the girl that passed, the lady that shot her.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Right,
Mexican crazy
right.
soccer lady.
Now, right. Now, you know, she was just on the wagon to get her bag up. So I feel like, you know, the executor of her, you know, the beneficiary of her money,
Mhm.
you know, I feel like basically you try to set her up because you're greedy and you want her money, and you
Mhm.
don't want her to have her money until, you know, you blackmail her into giving you some of the money that you had frozen.
Mhm.
That's not right. That's bad karma. And that's what greedy people do all day long, like running water.
Mhm.
They look for the weak, and they're not to be trusted. And I feel like that's what, you know, the person that was supposed to be handling her finances,
Mhm.
because she didn't have direct access to do withdrawals to take it out.
Mhm.
You know, she's now going to be on some control freak stuff. Well, if I can't do it, then you can't have it because I want it. And if I can't have it, you can't have it. I don't care who made it and how long it took.
Who you talking about? The you talking about Wendy?
The Yeah, I'm talking about Wendy and the executor
Oh, the executive. Yeah.
of her finances. You know, the lady was low to the ground and had no business trying her job.
Man.
She's not a doctor, she's not a psychologist.
It sounds like
It
she's got some doctors to prove,
it,
and
it,
Wendy's
it
like, I
wasn't
don't even
her.
know these doctors. I don't
Right,
even know these names.
right. Like it wasn't her place. It was
Not wicked.
inappropriate for her to take that initiative to, you know, be on some, well, I don't feel like, you know, I feel like her money is not a good fit for her
Mhm.
mental health status,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
absolutely false.
Yeah. It's
You
crazy.
know, so, you know, I just feel like that whole situation, like you could tell that Chris Rock caters
Mhm.
to a certain group of people now, because you know, he's had money for quite some time.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know, so he gonna hang out with the big dogs like Jay-Z, you know, and I kind of low key, I kind of feel like um he don't care about his own culture.
Nah.
I feel like he moved on to
Yeah.
more money,
Definitely.
and more money, more white people you got to hang out with and lick their ass for, and you still gonna be the same Chris Rock
Yeah.
before and after, because it don't make no difference to them until they get what they want. Once they get what they
Mm.
want, they're done with you.
Oh yeah.
So you got to go to another state to scramble.
Child, I tell you. Well, cousin,
Right.
we made a whole hour on this sucker here.
We did.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it
Congratulations.
live. Yeah, it's been really nice having you on, and I hope you keep coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
You got you
I would
you
love
keep
to
it
be your
going.
co-host
Woohoo!
sometime or another. And next time maybe we can talk about the topic of Miss
Mhm.
Tracy Braxton,
Yeah,
God rest her soul.
I know. I'm gonna finish doing some video research on that, and probably I'm gonna go back on here probably tomorrow and talk about that one. That's big. That whole family. Oh gosh, they did.
That's
The
another,
rumor. The rumor
some
is
more
that they.
drama.
Yeah. Are they having? I guess they was having two ceremonies. I hope they gotta have another ceremony. One of them they didn't go
I
to.
gotta do some research too, but what I
Hmm.
can tell you, according to the online,
Hmm.
it appears to be that her husband
Yeah.
and her manager,
Hmm.
um she, I guess she like didn't want things a certain way when she passed,
Hmm.
and like they did it anyway.
Oh, the
And
husband. I didn't see. I heard
right,
it was the other way around. That the husband is trying to help her, but the family doesn't want it done that way, which sounds crazy. The whole thing just sounds crazy. It's
right, it's
and it's not to the middle of it all.
right. Well, the bottom line is she's in the ground. Let that girl
Yeah,
rest.
right,
Don't do
right,
that. Because
right.
people, when it comes to funerals, I don't
Mhm.
care. Money don't have nothing to do with it.
Sure
But
don't.
when people seem to, um, when they, when you pass on,
Mhm.
money or not, it appears to be like the same cycle. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like if you don't have respect for that person, please don't show up at their funeral.
right.
That should be common sense, right?
Well, they're saying that the first one that the dad and the son did, the funeral they did, like that one that was just on there, on it, I guess it was on broadcast. There's some footage of it. Looked beautiful. None of the family members was there, so I got to do some research. And they say they're gonna
You,
have another one, but still, I mean,
I mean,
you can
she's
stand there.
buried now.
You can't
Why
stand
would
there
you?
for her son. I know she didn't want her son to be all there all alone without her sisters by,
Right.
rally for the
Because they
son,
were
you know?
attacked. Right.
You know? It don't make no sense.
But I just feel like, Tamar had drama, you know.
Tamar.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tamar.
yeah, Tamar had drama.
Uh-huh.
She constantly had drama in her house. And she
Mhm.
recently had, I guess, her safe taken in her home.
Oh, really? Somebody stole
Right.
something from her?
Someone broke in and took some things. And
I'm
so,
not surprised.
right. So I just feel like, you know, um, I don't know. I feel like the sisters are controlling because they've always been a group.
Mhm.
They've always been,
That's
their mom and their dad taught them to stick
mhm.
together. And, since they didn't want to do gospel music in the beginning, or
Mhm.
they transpired over, they kind of like have this like, okay, that's cool, you're married, you have kids, blah blah, that's cool, but we are what count. And we're
Mhm.
not breaking our sisterhood,
Right.
because they were taught to stick together, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So I could see a definite control factor in that picture,
Mhm.
which is, no, you got to do it this way, and then the person on the other end is like, what do you mean we have to do it this way? Like there's
Mhm.
like 26 options
Mhm.
type of
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
So I just feel like all along, it doesn't matter who in that sister pack that would
Mhm.
pass away. They would have done it to any one of them, because
Mm.
that's just how
They're raised to be.
how their net, yeah,
Yeah.
how their
Yeah.
net is.
Yeah. Got
Like
it.
nobody can hit my sister but me, type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we'll
Hmm.
definitely, excuse me, we'll definitely discuss that topic. That's definitely worth discussing. And
Yeah.
I was trying to find a little bit more information,
Mhm.
on the whole thing with just how, just trying to find information on how everything really is.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, because I feel like that family, I feel like underneath all of you know, the songs and the
Mhm.
TV and the entertainment, I feel like, they're like any other group of siblings, and their pack comes first. Even, and I hate to say this, but
Yeah.
even before, her husband, I don't know
Mhm.
about the kid, he's grown now, but I know she had two kids, a girl and a boy, and the
Mhm.
boy's from a previous, relationship.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's
Yeah.
just gonna, it would have been like that for Tamar,
Mm.
for Tony, for any of them. It would have been all the same.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, cousin, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one down, and I'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll talk. We can still talk. I'm just gonna close this part out and go ahead and play my music, and then I'm gonna close it down. Well, we can
Well,
still be
thank
in background.
you, Kisa at Kisa's Life, for letting me co-host today.
Thank you.
Again, my name is Janine. This is my right hand, Kisa. She's my pride and joy, my cousin. And again, please, y'all, um, click the subscribe button. Be a part of the chat. Let's see what your opinion is on what's going on out here. Back to you, Kisa.